Hold on to your hats, guys, because in the latest turn of events, the New York Attorney General's office has hired high-powered attorney Abe Lowell to defend Attorney General Letitia James against fraud accusations being levied against her. I mean, definitely looking rather guilty when you hire someone whose high-profile political figures on both sides of the aisle include Hunter Biden, Jared Kushner, Ivanka Trump, former Senator Bob Menendez, and Bill Clinton. And they're not even formally investigating Letitia James yet. U.S. Federal Housing Director William Pulte is requesting the Department of Justice to investigate Letitia James and consider prosecuting her for allegedly falsifying bank documents and records in order to garner more favorable loans. But this early, Lowell already sent a letter to the DOJ urging them to reject Pulte's request for prosecution. I mean, she wasn't afraid of prosecuting President Trump on charges like this. Why is she afraid of facing them herself? Any ideas, guys? I mean, really, Democrats are just clinging on to any shred of power that they can hook their claws into. George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley, he pointed out how the Trump administration is getting 3 injunctions a day from federal judges, mostly Democrats. Now, what I have a problem with, and maybe I'm wrong here, is it okay to use taxpayer money to cover Letitia James's legal expenses? Or do you think that Letitia James should be paying this bill out of her own pocket? You guys let me know, just yes or no, guys. In other news, the U.S. Department of Labor also warned governors across the United States and overseas territories to prevent illegal migrants from claiming unemployment benefits or risk losing federal grants. As Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer pointed out, unemployment benefits are not a handout for those in our country illegally. And make no mistake, guys, the stronger Trump gets, the farther left Democrats become. As Michael Goodwin from the New York Post said, a serious push is currently underway to move the party even further away from the political center, embrace economic plans close to pure socialism, and launch radical woke culture battles. But we're not going to let that happen, right, guys? In fact, I think, and you guys let me know if you agree or disagree with me on this one, I think that they should make an example out of New York Attorney General Letitia James, since the woman's all about no one is above the law. You know what I mean? Let me know. Just drop a quick yes or no on that one, guys. And I think that they should include her here. Watch.
Turning now to New York Attorney General Letitia James. Do you remember when she said this?
No one is above the law, including this illegitimate president.
No one is above the law. No matter how rich, powerful, or politically connected you are, everyone must play by the same rules. As I've said before, no one is above the law, and I will not hesitate to uphold the rule of law and protect New Yorkers.
Well, maybe she should look in the mirror. Trump's DOJ now accusing Letitia James of mortgage fraud.
She insisted that these technicalities matter and that the powerful should not be given a free pass. Well, that bill has come due in this case. She's going to have to deal with this filing. I'm honestly just not sure how you defend against this unless you say that these are fraudulent documents.
But now James is so desperate for cash that she launched a fundraiser this week and is asking for up to $18,000.
Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.
$10 per person. Oh man, she's an expensive date.
She's
really
hitting Kamala Harris territory. $25,000 a plate.
Now again, no one should be above the law, right? Including Letitia James. Most New Yorkers that I talked to, they said that she should be indicted already, stripped of her attorney general title, disbarred, and ultimately imprisoned. Should she be disbarred? Should she be fired from her role? Or should she step down? I mean, why else would she hire such a high-profile defense attorney like Abe Lowell if this wasn't such a big deal, or unless she thinks she's guilty? This guy, he's already represented Hunter Biden and Ivanka Trump, even Bill Clinton. And you know taxpayer dollars are probably going toward Letitia James' defense. Is that okay with you? Interestingly enough, Lowell will represent Letitia James as a private citizen, not as a part of Winston and Strom LLP, where he had been a partner. Interesting play there. A spokesperson for Winston & Strawn said Lowell went to form his own firm, allowing him to better balance his legal work, teaching, writing, and charitable work, but would say when Lowell and the firm parted ways. So could that possibly mean that Lowell went rogue with this Letitia James case and his company had to cut him loose? Now, guys, Medicare isn't just confusing. It's dangerous if you pick wrong. The wrong plan could mean overpaying, losing your doctor, or even missing out on benefits you deserve. This is why Chapter was created, to protect people like you. Julie in Kansas trusted a local broker and got burned. Chapter fixed it, and now she saves $400 every year. Jamie in Texas, $600 back in her Social Security. Their advisors treat you like family. It's totally free. There's no cost. There's no pressure. Give our folks over at Chapter a call. Their phone number is 909-563-8279. Or you can go to their website at askchapter.org/Ron. Protect yourself before it's too late. I'll also leave their phone number and their website link in the description down below this video. I mean, he's going pretty hard at it from the get-go. Lowell, in his letter to the DOJ that was directed to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi, referred to the criminal referral as the latest act of improper political retribution from Trump. He further said that the stunning hypocrisy of President Trump's complaint that the Justice Department had been politicized and weaponized against him is laid bare as he and others in his administration are now asking the DOJ to undertake the very same practice. Really? They're going to try to call out hypocrisy? That's rich, coming from the same political crowd that spent years weaponizing law enforcement agencies against President Donald Trump and pretty much anyone remotely in his orbit. Suddenly, when the tables turn and someone from their own team gets a little bit of heat, it's all of a sudden political retribution? Give me a break, guys. Are you guys actually buying this? I hope you're not. If investigating political figures is wrong, then where was all of this righteousness and outrage when Trump was being raided, indicted, and investigated from every possible angle? You guys remember when Melania Trump's underwear drawer were being raided by the FBI in their Mar-a-Lago, Florida home? So either it's wrong across the board or it's not. You don't get to make it wrong only when it's your side that's under fire. So Lowell also went after the allegations, including that Letitia James listed a home in Virginia as her primary residence while serving as a state official in New York. Now, according to Lowell, James had no intention of using the property as a primary residence, and her indication of this in a power of attorney letter was a mistake. He then pointed out that there were other documents where Letitia James indicated to her lender that the Virginia home would not be her primary residence. I mean, if this was an average citizen, not the New York Attorney General, they would be roasted alive for misrepresenting property details in a legal document. Am I right or am I wrong? So we're not talking about just checking the wrong box at the DMV here, guys. We're talking about official paperwork that affects mortgages, taxes, even jurisdictional responsibilities and insurance. These are very serious legal declarations. But according to Lowell, when it's Letitia James, it's just a harmless little oopsie. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sure, buddy. Then, of course, there's the Brooklyn property mess. A second accusation of fraud against Letitia James accuses her of inflating the number of livable units in a multifamily Brooklyn residence to receive better interest rates. Lowell said that they disregarded updated documentation listing the residence as a 4-unit multifamily residence and instead pointed to a certificate of occupancy from 2001. So let me get this straight. The certificate of occupancy, the official legal document from the city that says it's 2 units, is wrong because Letitia James later presented something else. If regular landlords pulled this trick, they would be slapped with fines or even worse. But again, when it's Letitia James, it's all just a little misunderstanding, right? I mean, the bigger picture here is pretty obvious, right? Lowell isn't defending facts. He's spinning narratives. He's doing what high-priced lawyers tend to do: muddy the waters, scream political hit job, and hope that the public tunes out before they smell the actual corruption. But we're not tuning out, are we, guys? We see exactly what's going on here, and we're going to make sure that they're not getting away with this. Now, if you're tired of the double standards, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We're not buying the spin, and neither should you. So let's keep it rolling. So here's George Washington University law professor Jonathan Turley explaining the sheer number of injunctions Democrat judges are throwing in Trump's way, plus the one case that shows just how far they're willing to undermine the president's authority. Check this out.
Joining me now, one of my favorites, the expert, Professor Jonathan Turley, Fox News contributor and constitutional law expert in every sense of the word. You know, when you look at this, Professor Turley, each of these cases are different. You have an Obama judge, a Clinton judge, a Trump judge in one case. I think the one Trump was speaking about, the sanctuary city funding case, he's probably on the strongest footing on. Doesn't he have a right to say I'm withholding federal funding from sanctuary cities?
Well, the astonishing thing, of course, is they're now coming by the gross. I mean, we're getting 3 a day. They're increasing. The Supreme Court has repeatedly said they want to stop national injunctions. They've tried to rein in judges a bit, including a judge in D.C. that should never have taken a case to begin with. But we're now seeing 3 of these come down in a single day. The one in San Francisco, I think, is very problematic. I think the judge pulled the trigger too fast. This is a judge who said, no, you cannot withhold money from sanctuary cities. But the executive order told his cabinet, Trump's cabinet, I need you to look at this, evaluate it, and tell me if they're interfering with federal enforcement, and then to withhold funds. There's a lot of runway between here and there in determining what they're going to do. And this judge just went ahead and said, I'm stopping everything.
Yeah. Well,
now, honestly, Democrats will weaponize the system when it suits them, and they're willing to cry foul when they get called out. I mean, if that's not corrupt to the core, I don't really know what is. I mean, just hear this one from Republican Congressman Brian Steele, another textbook case of obstruction. Watch.
Let's bring in Wisconsin Congressman Brian Steele. Parts of his district are just south of Milwaukee, where Judge Dugan presides. So she is under arrest, charged with, obstructing federal agents, among other things. What do you think was going through her mind here, Congressman?
Obstruction of federal agents is a crime, and it doesn't matter if you're the defendant, a witness, or a sitting judge. When you read the criminal complaint, it reads like a textbook case of obstruction, that she allowed this defendant to go through non-public areas of the courthouse to get into the streets. And the reason this is so important is because it puts the lives of the men and women of law enforcement who are there to effectuate the arrest at risk. The reason the arrest was being made at the county courthouse, most likely, is because it would be known that the defendant would be unarmed, having already gone through security. Allowing the defendant to get loose onto the street, allowing a foot chase to take place, puts the lives of officers at risk. And this criminal complaint makes it very clear. A large number of witnesses. It reads like a case of obstruction. She deserves her day in court to explain her side of the story, but she does not deserve special treatment.
I believe they were talking about Milwaukee County Circuit Court Judge Hannah Dugan, who was arrested by federal authorities after the FBI began investigating allegations that she had helped hide a migrant charged with violence from ICE agents. And again, this woman is supposed to be in charge of judging other human beings. And the complaint was very clear. There are several people, not including the agents, who saw what happened. This judge denied justice to the alleged victims of the illegal immigrant who were there in the courtroom. So the judge abused her authority. Then, of course, there's the Barack Obama appointed Judge William H. Orrick in Northern California, who temporarily blocked President Trump's executive order to withhold funds from cities and counties refusing to cooperate with federal immigration enforcement. But as Jonathan Turley pointed out, the Supreme Court has repeatedly said they want to stop national injunctions. But we're now seeing 3 of these come down in a single day. In response, the Department of Justice filed its own lawsuits, with Attorney General Pam Bondi suing places like Chicago, Cook County, and the state of Illinois in February over their sanctuary policies for illegal immigrants. Oh, and of course, let's not forget about New Mexico Democrat Judge Jose Cano and his wife, Nancy Cano, who were recently taken into custody by federal officials for their alleged connection to an illegal migrant arrested on their property. Homeland Security investigation said that Cano was charged with tampering with evidence, while Nancy was charged with conspiracy to tamper with evidence as a part of an ongoing HSI-led criminal investigation. Now, seriously, this is the hill that these Democrat judges want to die on? The Labor Department even had to warn governors recently to prevent illegal migrants from claiming unemployment benefits or risk losing federal grants. According to Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer, it is critical that we ensure American taxpayer dollars do not go toward encouraging or rewarding illegal immigration to the United States. You know, the more you step back and kind of really look at the big picture, the more you realize this Letitia James story, this endless stream of activist judges protecting the left while obstructing Trump, some governors giving handouts to illegal immigrants, really, this isn't an isolated problem at all. This is a full-blown, top-to-bottom breakdown of honesty and accountability. And Michael Goodwin, he put it perfectly in his recent think piece. The worst is yet to come. The Democratic Party isn't just leaning left anymore. It's leaning so far left, it's falling off of a cliff. They're not even pretending to chase the center. They're just openly bragging about becoming more and more radical, more reckless, and more obsessed with tearing down anything that stands in their way, even if it's the Constitution itself. What we're seeing here with Letitia James, her alleged fraud brushed off as mistakes, her weaponized investigations against Trump, is just one example of what Goodwin is warning us about. A system so drunk on political power that they don't even care how obvious the corruption looks anymore. They'll hand wave serious allegations against their own while unleashing the full force of the legal system on anyone who threatens their power. I mean, think about it. You've got judges like Hannah Dugan allegedly protecting violent illegal immigrants instead of protecting American citizens and still sitting on the bench. You got people like Judge Orrick blocking lawful executive orders meant to keep Americans safe just because it was Trump who signed them. And meanwhile, corrupt local judges like Jose Cano, they're being hauled away by federal agents for helping illegals and migrants and tampering with evidence. Goodwin's right. This is not the end game for the far left. This is their warm-up act. And if you think it's bad now, just imagine what happens if they're allowed to claw back more control, like over our courts, over our borders, our economy, our elections. They cry foul when they're held accountable. They call it political retribution when someone actually calls out their corruption. But the truth is, guys, they've been politicizing, weaponizing, and brutalizing the system for years. And like Goodwin said, voters are not blind. They've already started rejecting this madness. And the angrier and more desperate the far left gets, the more exposed they become. Believe me, guys, we are not even close to seeing how far these people are willing to go. But thanks to our voices like ours, we're wide awake and we're not going to fall for it. Now, before you go, guys, let me know in the comments, is there even saving the Democratic Party at this point? Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to check out our recommended videos about to pop up. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. Hey, by the way, guys, if you're one of the real ones who really enjoy what we do here on the channel, you've got to check out the Inner Circle. This is where our true supporters get exclusive access to content that I just can't share here, completely commercial free. It's also the best way to keep this channel going strong. So if you want to be a part of something special, join us over there. Links in the description or in the pinned comment down below.